Welcome to Builder Information Systems Video Learning Center. This tutorial will cover the recurring payroll process. The recurring processes in BIS provide a time-saving method for transactions that recur with some regularity, like standard payments, utility bills, administrative payroll, etc. There are 5 recurring processes: recurring journal entries, recurring billing, recurring purchase orders, recurring payables, and recurring payroll. The fundamentals for each recurring process are the same whether it is recurring journal entries or recurring payroll. You set and save individual transaction information as templates, which are then placed in groups. The groups may then be loaded any time the transactions are needed. The process saves you from having to recreate the transactions from scratch each time. With recurring payroll, the records are loaded into payroll hours and adjustments where they may be modified if necessary, or the payroll checks or payroll direct deposit may be generated directly using print payroll checks process. Recurring payroll saves you from having to recreate employee payroll information from scratch each time. To initiate the recurring payroll process, select the Recurring PR link in the white area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Transactions, Recurring Payroll, and select Recurring PR in the menu. First, note the close similarities to the payroll form found in Payroll Hours and Adjustments. Missing is the Pay Period Date field, which is applied when the recurring group is loaded later. Proceed to complete the payroll information by either selecting or entering the employee ID, the employee's Social Security number, tax withholding state, and unemployment state will auto-populate on the main tab from the employee's master record, along with any automatic additions, deductions, and tax deferred, etc. on those respective tabs. Now proceed with entering all needed line item information on the Hours tab, Additions, Deductions, Tax Deferred, and Local Taxes tabs like you normally enter in Payroll. Again, note that the related date fields are not present on those tabs. By default, the pay period date is applied when the recurring groups are loaded into Payroll. Save the record. Continue to create any other additional recurring payroll records as needed. Recurring payroll groups. Once the recurring PR records are completed, they are then placed in their respective groups. Think of the groups as a container or bucket which holds one or more recurring PR records. All recurring PR records in a group get posted simultaneously when the group is posted. Select the Groups link in the white area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Transactions, Recurring Payroll, and select Groups in the menu. The Groups form is straightforward. To initially create a group, on the Main tab, provide a group number and description. This identifies the group. Now on the Recurring tab, select the recurring PR records that will be in the group by either entering or selecting the recurring PR record number. The employee ID, name, and withholding and SUTA states auto-populate the form. As is commonly found throughout BIS, a Notes tab is provided in the event that any related internal notes need to be documented. Once all recurring PR records have been selected for that group, save the group. At any time the group needs to be modified by adding or removing recurring PRs, access the group form, use the search feature or VCR buttons to select the group record, then select the Recurring tab, make any needed modifications, and save the changes. It's important to keep in mind that the individual recurring PR records are a snapshot of the record information as it was when the recurring PR record was initially created. If any modifications are made to the employee's master record, like the pay rates, additions, deductions, tax deferred, etc., it does not change the information stored in the recurring PR record. The recurring PR record needs to be removed from the group, then recreated as a new recurring PR record, saved, and re-added to any desired groups. Completing recurring payroll. At any time you wish to complete a recurring payroll transaction, select the Load Groups link in the white area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Transactions, Recurring Payroll, and select Load Groups in the menu. On the Load Groups form, enter the pay period date. Next, check the Load Flag checkbox for the desired groups you wish to load. You may review the selected group's recurring PRs by clicking the Preview button in the lower right. It will provide the information on all flagged groups. Clicking the Load button in the lower right will load the records into Payroll Hours and Adjustments. Recurring groups were loaded successfully. Click OK. The employee's payroll information is now in Payroll Hours and Adjustments. Recurring Payroll also has an Unload Groups function that allows the Load Groups function to be easily reversed, removing selected groups previously loaded to be removed as long as it has not been posted to the ledger. Simply select the Unload Groups link in the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Transactions, Recurring Payroll, and select Unload Groups in the menu, and follow the same process as with the Load Groups to reverse the process. Now, if for any reason any of the payroll information needs to be accessed, modified, or deleted prior to moving forward with the normal payroll process, you may browse to the Payroll Hours and Adjustments form, use the search or VCR buttons to locate the record and make any needed modifications and save the changes, or use the delete icon or Control-D to delete the record if necessary. Recurring Payroll Reports. Note that reports are available that allow you to review and manage both the groups and the recurring records for the recurring payroll process. The links are found adjacent to the recurring payroll in the blue area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Reports, Payroll, Recurring Payroll, and select Recurring List or Groups in the menu to access the report query forms.